Hello and welcome to another edition of Frontline. This is our holiday show, and the co-host this month is Battalion Chief Gary Painter from Battalion 1 C Shift. And Chief, why don't you let them know what we got packed in this show for them this month?
Hi, how you doing? Well, the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to cover the all hands segment. At the all hands, we're going to go over the K&K Auto Body Shop fire from 12/14, involved Battalion 2 and 4. We're also going to cover a new segment called Bloopers. You may see yourself in some of these. It's the fire department's funniest, not necessarily the most humorous, but funniest home bloopers. We're also today going to cover with Doris Trent from the Agriculture Department some holiday cooking tips and how to keep us from looking like me.
Okay, so what do you say we go to all hands first? And I think what we're going to do is we've got some pretty good footage when that fire came out. As soon as it went to a second, Bob Anderson went down there and got some footage, and he got a lot of good interviews. So we're not going to have too much studio on that. I think we're just going to go right to the segment and look at some video. And then I think right after that, you had a pretty interesting call at the Cavalier back in December.
Correct. Elevator incident at the Cavalier. So basically, let's just go to all hands and you make the call.
What we have is a second alarm fire on Southgate Avenue at the Coachworks. First call was about 0823. Second alarm was struck at 0834. We have an interior fire that appears to have started in one of the shop areas and extended into the ceiling. And what they've had to do right now is because we've had a collapse of the interior ceiling and a potential collapse zone on both exterior walls because of the beams forcing the cinder blocks. Wagon 10 and Wagon 16's crew have breached the wall on the exterior rear cinder block wall and have entered through that way to pull the ceilings and knock the fire out on the inside. The problem is we got large running cracks on both sides of these walls, so we don't want to fail a wall and lose somebody. Initial units on the scene found heavy smoke from the garage area over here, as well as from the front door and the alley obscured by smoke. They made an interior attack. They heard it over their head, but they couldn't get the ceiling pulled quite enough like they wanted to. They tried to penetrate and knock it down a little bit, but they heard it rolling over their head, and it basically came in behind them, so they backed on out until they could get it into the ceiling. And that's been the problem so far, is chasing it through this steel beam joist ceiling.
When we first crossed the boulevard, we saw a heavy volume of smoke. Once we got over into this area, we could see a large amount of flames covering probably a quarter to a half of the roof. I took command. Wanted to originally get Ladder 9 to go ahead and get me the ladder up so I could have some heavy water available, because I knew that Al and Ron Swain had their two crews inside trying to hit it from there. Called the second alarm and went inside myself once Gary Widener got here, and we were looking at a no-win situation. At that time, we all backed out, and I was assigned back to Exposure 3. Once Captain Brown got here in Wagon 10, we butted our heads together a little bit and figured that there had to be a way to go through this building from the back wall. So we convinced Chief George to let us go through, and Mike and his crew cut the hole that you see behind me, went inside, and he eventually knocked down the major volume of interior fire, which was one car that was left in there burned.
Well, they asked me just to mention a couple of the things that the people from Wagon 10 did when we got here, and we were working pretty tight with Travis and those guys from 2C. We got here on the second alarm, so I think they were doing most of the firefighting up front, but when we got here, we had a ventilator duct up there that looked like the only place we could ventilate. It was a built-up tar and gravel roof, and it was bubbling, so we were afraid it might fall through, but we could reach this big galvanized steel ventilator shaft from the wall and on a ladder instead of going on a roof. there was no other way to get in on the exposure 3 side. It was a solid concrete block wall. So after a while, Incident Command asked us if we could get in from this side, and we advised them the only way we could get in would be to breach this center block wall. I got old Stovepipe Painter. He's a mason anyway. He knew how to work that circular saw and got the big mallet out, and we started banging on that wall and got it broken in pretty fast. Opened up about a 3 foot by 5 foot hole and put a lintel in there out of 4x4 and shored it up on both sides because we were starting to get some cracks in the center block wall, and we were able to enter that way and put out the rest of the fire from this side of the building. So that worked out pretty good to get in here on the second alarm, still get a little bit of fire.
Okay, that was pretty decent footage, I think, that Bob got down there on that call. Looked like they had a lot of activity.
Yeah, it would appear that the first-in companies had their hands full for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, we're going to continue with a little all hands and go to that elevator accident that you were at and that 11C shift handled. Do you want to give us a little insight before we get into it?
Well, basically, Company 11 received a call for a fall at the New Cavalier. When they responded, the dispatcher updated the information saying that a subject had fallen in the elevator shaft. At that time, Captain Clark from 11C had the ladder truck respond with Captain Martinet and his crew. Short of that, I'll let the fellows from 11 pick it up from there. I will tell you that we've gotten an update today that one of the subjects suffered multiple fractures of the lower extremities, both legs. I believe he's having his foot amputated today. He's got some brain damage, broken ribs, and he's pretty screwed up. The other subject basically just suffered a broken tib fib of one of the legs.
That's, I guess, just the way it happened. You know, they were just, I guess, horsing around or fighting in the hallway and just fell right through those doors.
Yeah, it was the rarity of the call, I think, that made it unique. That being that I don't think any of us have thought about the elevator doors pushing into the shaft when they're hit from in front. And in fact, that's what happened. The fight occurred on the 10th floor. The elevator doors were struck with an impact. They pushed into the shaft, and both subjects fell about 65 feet. Like I say, from the rescue end of it, the fellows at 11 did an outstanding job. Both subjects have lived, and there's not a whole lot more I can say.
Thank you, Chief, for your thoughts on that incident. And right after this look at Frontline Scrapbook, we'll be talking with Captain Martinet.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3,
Welcome back to the show, and this is a continuation of the All Hands segment, and with me now is Captain Martinet from Company 11 on the ladder, and Master Firefighter Danny Lindsay, who's also stationed at Company 11 on the ladder. And we're going to be talking about a rather unique elevator emergency that you had back on the 5th of December at the Cavalier Motel. And Captain Martinet, you want to start it off?
Yeah, I can, Joe. I'll give you a little background information. The call came in as an injury from a fall, and initially the wagon was dispatched to assist rescue, and as they were responding to the call, they started getting more feedback. You know, this person had fallen a long way, was in an elevator shaft, this sort of thing. So Danny was riding in the wagon that night, not on the ladder, and he triggered the response through Captain Clark to get the ladder on the road, and then I guess Danny, you can pick it up from there. Kind of explain what happened when you got there. You got there first.
Well, when we got there, the doorman told us that 2 people had fallen from the 10th floor, and they had landed on top of an elevator car that was at the 5th floor. Both people were still conscious, but they started to go downhill pretty fast after we got there. I stepped down into the car and I could see what looked like one person with 3 legs, and as you got down there and started looking, you can see where the first person had gone through the ceiling and roof structure of the elevator, and the second person had fallen around on top of them, and they had multiple fractures of both legs, and they were almost entangled with each other on top of the car. I had my ladder belt on, so I waited till I got a piece of rope tied off to me, and then at that time I moved from the front part of the elevator car to the back. I waited for that because the elevator car itself was structurally damaged to a point where it was a possibility that the car itself might collapse with more weight on it, and I didn't want to be the third victim. And,
So how far up were you from the elevator car at this point?
Well, the elevator car from the impact was knocked down about 4 or 5 feet, so when you stepped in off the floor, it was about chest deep, and then the I-beams were right there for us to tie our ropes off to. So
you had a good solid anchor point.
solid anchor point with the I-beams. There are actually floor joist members in that structure. And I just, once I was tied off, I just stepped across from the front part of the elevator to the back part across the structural member that the hoist cables are hooked to, and found 2 somewhat stable spots to stand for my feet in almost like a split position, and started to assess the problem that we had there.
Okay, Danny, so when you initially reached the 2 patients at the top of the car, you were where, 5th floor, 6th floor?
We'd come in off the 5th floor.
Okay, and they fell from where?
They fell from the 10th floor.
So they actually had about a 50 or 60 foot drop.
Yes, they did.
Okay, which I guess when you look at their injuries, that would certainly account for, being as broke up as they were.
Yes.
Okay, Cap Martinet, you come in on the ladder, and basically now I guess it was a technical rescue type call.
Well, we thought it was, and we had the advanced information because Danny and Captain Clark had gotten there. They basically radioed and told us, we needed to get the rope, the equipment up there, so we just got the Stokes off the ladder, loaded all the stuff in it, and got it up in one shot. So when we initially got in there, like I said, Danny was in the elevator, and we started breaking things down into little job segments. Paul Gleaton took the doorway, and he kind of watched over everything that was happening on the elevator car, kind of played safety officer, and that was good in the end run. There were a lot of problems that could have occurred, with the elevator, with the people that were on it. Chief Painter came in a little while later, and he took command of the whole situation, and I think that was one of the keys to the success of the whole operation, was that command was assumed early. Danny and Scott and myself got in the elevator car and actually started trying to access the patients. We were really scared they were going to die. You figure they fell 65 feet, and they hit.
A lot of trauma.
Yeah, a lot of trauma, and like the top victim, he was in good shape when we first got there. We thought he was, but they digressed so fast. I guess from
as
the
far
shot.
as your patient assessment went, did you bring any medical gear with you, or were you?
We actually couldn't
get
do
too
anything.
much down there.
Where they were on the elevator car was so unstable that we couldn't even get to where they were at that time until we got tied off and could kind of balance against a tie-off point and some other point across the shaft where you could put your foot. But rescue was able to get up underneath of them and get a cervical collar on them. So that was about it.
So you felt it was in their best interest for you to work as quickly as you could,
Throw and go technique.
get them packaged up as best you could, and move them out that way.
Yeah, that's pretty much how the whole scene was handled.
They were so entangled, it would have been too hard to try to separate them and put a backboard on them and airway management and so forth. So we just splinted the massive compound fractures of the legs, and then we just physically grabbed them with some webbing and just forced them out of there.
So you went from where you entered on the 5th floor and loaded Stokes down in there, packaged them up, and then...
Well, we didn't actually get to use the Stokes because you couldn't get the Stokes inside the elevator car. We used a backboard, and we got them up to the top of the elevator car where we could get them on a backboard to shoot them out the door onto the floor, and where we gave them to EMS.
Okay. Did you have to put together any type of hauling system or use any of that those skills?
We used all the skills that we'd learned in heavy and tactical. We had a man on rappel that was tied off in the shaft beside the one that we were working
Okay.
on. You know, all of our figure eights and all of our seats. You know, we used it all. The webbing.
I actually got to apply it.
Yeah, it was real.
That's great.
Real good. It really was.
That's great. The door themselves that they fell through, I guess that brings up a couple of concerns. One is that I guess they're not too sturdy. I mean, you can go right through them if there's not a car on that landing. And two, you know, when we're in a high-rise fire now, that's just something else we have to worry about.
Well, Danny can elaborate on this a little bit. We found out some additional information.
Okay.
Researching this.
Yeah, they found out through the elevator company that the doors are made to come off their rollers at 200 pounds
No kidding.
psi of pressure. Evidently, when they designed this, it was made so that the door wouldn't get bent and have to replace the door. It just get dislodged off the rollers, and somebody would
Open up.
come back and fix it. Well, they didn't plan for two people combined weight, probably 350 pounds, to get a running start and run into it.
Were these guys fighting or
Yeah.
arguing or
That's what we were told. They were
just kind of rolled right on through it?
Big time.
kind of, yeah.
Okay. Any other points you want to bring out on that?
I-
The call itself.
I would like to, you know, to say one thing. I think that the call went well because the fire department has, in general, made a commitment to technical rescue, and I think, you know, obviously we're not going to mention names. People know who those people are in the fire department that have brought these skills to us, and I think the chief's commitment to technical rescue has allowed operations like this to be handled now more safely, more effectively, and it's benefited the public. It's just now starting to show, but it's going to really show in the future.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good that we get to use those skills. I know we've used them a couple of times already on some trench calls, and have used it on confined space when we had the Ponce incident, so now we got to use the vertical gear and on an actual call, and I think it shows, you're right, the commitment's there and the training's there, and we've done a real good job with it. And Danny, you like to add anything else?
Well, it's good to keep the truck teams together as much as you can. I know there's been a lot of moving going on through the city, whereas our truck team has, everybody on the team is level 2 rope rescue. Some of us have gone level 3, and we also had 2 more people in the station who are also level 2 rope rescue and confined space and trench training also. So I've noticed there's a couple of ladder crews in the city. By virtue of this people get moved around, that they end up with people who aren't trained in the same skills.
Mm-hmm.
And these trucks are dispatched for this type of call and this type of rescue, and they will end up having the people without the proper amount of training on the scene first that needs to be there.
Okay.
That's a concern that really needs to be addressed, because we only have one rope rescue school in the city for the ladder crews, and that's been a pretty long time ago.
Okay. Well, just to give you a little insight on that, we're working up another one that's going to be in the March-April time frame, so we can get those people that have been just transferred to a truck company and get them in and get them trained. So we're working on that here, and we'll get that information out. We weren't able to get everybody up here on the set that was involved in that call, obviously, because of the size of it, but just looking around the room, I'm going to name some names off of the rest of the crews that were here and who assisted on that call. Scott Prentice, Paul Gleaton, Pat Cameron, Mark Maples, Sean Land, Pat Say, Jim Milligan was there, Clay Kofer's part of your crew, and of course Captain Clark. And Chief Carter was here just before we started taping here and told these fellows they did a real good job, and everything he's heard has been positive, and everything I've heard has been positive, and just a good job for the guys that have the beach beat. The guys at the beach beat are putting on the heat. I guess, our annual bloopers run, and we'll be doing this every year. And you've seen the tape. Why don't you let them know what they're going to be seeing?
Well, I'd rather not, because you may turn the show off. I think you ought to experience this for yourself.
Okay, so why don't we run them bloopers, Bob?
Okay, this concludes the fire worksheet portion of Frontline, and right now I'm going to kick it back over to Joe.
Okay, Chief, you had some safety stuff you wanted to put in on this about opening roofs up and things of that nature. You want to touch on that a little bit?
No, I didn't, Joe. We're not doing it, Joe. We are not doing it. I'm kicking it out of here. I don't want to try it again. I'm tired of it.
Okay.
Maybe another day, but we aren't doing it today.
All right, Bob. Let's do it.
Okay,
Now I know what we're doing.
y'all ready?
Okay.
Question number 2. Tell those guys to stop laughing in there. Hey, cut your laughing out. If you want to laugh after it's over, you laugh after it's over, but you don't laugh while I'm doing it, okay?
From the Sunset District.
From the Sunset District, we'd like to welcome you to another edition of Frontline.
Okay, one more time.
Okay.
Hi, I'm J.D. Abshire.
I'm Steve Leonthal.
Damn, son. He's gonna. How many takes can we go through?
We got to do the class here shortly.
Yeah, we got
All right,
inserts.
All right, we ready to go?
Yeah, Bob.
Let's practice it one time.
All right, let's go through it.
Hi, I'm J.D. Abshire.
I'm Steve Leonthal.
I'm Terry.
I'm Terry.
Terry's our anchor.
I'm sorry.
Okay, these lights are getting hot. Let's go.
I'm sorry you didn't bring Franklin with you.
I
All right.
Hi. Hi, I'm J.D. Abshire.
I'm Steve Leonthal.
know. I'm Terry Tess. I'm Terry Tassone.
From the Sunset.
You got to say it together.
You gotta give us the cue.
Okay,
Give us
okay,
the cue.
okay.
After we say
All
our
right.
names, give us the cue.
I'll
After y'all look at the camera.
I'll do this.
Okay.
I'll do this. Ready? This is the take. Go.
Hi, I'm J.D. Abshire.
I'm Steve Leonthal.
I'm Terry Tassone.
From the Sunset District. We'd,
The 3.
From the Sunset District.
we'd like to welcome you to another edition of Frontline, okay?
All right, ready?
Hi, I'm J.D. Abshire.
I'm Steve Leonthal.
I'm Terry Tassone.
From the Sunset District, we'd like to welcome you to
Another
another edition of Frontline. Terry, you're weighing us back.
Hello, I'm crapping grip. I'm crapping. Okay, pause. One. Hello.
Rod Kellogg, 5C.
Ernest Rollins, 17C.
April Elmore, 5C.
Mike Gibson, 5C.
Eddie Johnson, 17C.
Jim Clark, Company Officer, 17C. This is C Shifts, Company 5 and 17. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Frontline.
Loads and angles. So obviously we couldn't get it down low enough to put it directly into the stairs, the exterior stairs that you'll see. So
Let's take a break there.
let's take a break.
Good for me. Okay, Chief. We appreciate you coming by to the set of Frontline today and giving us what? Giving us.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, Chief. We appreciate you coming by the set of Frontline today. There he goes. This guy, man. You see what I got to sit on?
How about...
Notably would be the cardiovascular system, because we all know diabetes is, of course, a risk factor in cardiac patients. All right, okay, just keep on going.
We're rolling.
Number 27.
A little more of a pause.
A little more of a pause.
Okay. Little pause. Thank Joe. You're looking at the camera when you come back to here. Okay. Here we go.
Thank you, Joe. With the onset of warmer weather toward this time of the year, I've seen, Bob.
I know, it's hard. It's hard. That's all right. Pick it up. Pick it up. Give me a look. Thanks, Joe. No giggles. No giggles. We'll be here all day.
I know.
You know what you're going to say?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm completely blocking.
Okay. Just run through it one time.
Let's get the cards.
Okay.
Just let me write it down and hold it in my hand kind of thing. You know,
That's fine.
I took
Yeah,
my
you can do that.
flipping pad back to my desk.
As you know, Company 11 will shortly be receiving a tiller truck. For more information on that, let's go to Captain R.B. Alley.
Have you wondered what it'd be like to drive a tiller truck? I've always wondered that myself. The city of Virginia Beach has made. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be a fire mechanic at the city garage? I've often wondered that myself. You ever wonder what it'd be like to be strapped into a KED? I've often wondered that myself. Did you ever wonder what it'd be like to burn down a house with a bunch of recruits? Always wondered that myself. Kind of a scary thought, isn't it? Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be an anchorman on a television news program? Always wondered that myself. I'm down here with Ed Hughes from WTKR Channel 3.
Chief, when we take a look at the school and the recruit, what is the code of conduct that they have to adhere to the whole time they're here?
Well, while they're here, we have strict guidelines that are enforced. It's very rigid. They must adhere to. Why am I talking like this? I don't know why. I'm mumbling.
You're all right. Let's do it again. No pressure. Do it again.
Because it's through your brick. Hey, you want us out of here? Would that help?
No, it doesn't make any difference to me.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's through your,
Jesus
it's through
Christ.
your brick. Pretty cool, man.
A cinder block. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, send some lunch in, will you?
Coming up next on the show is Taking It to the Streets. We're going to be covering the impact that clandestine drug labs has on the fire service. And with us this month is Captain Greg Wakeman from Company 3A shift and a DEA agent, which is, what's the guy's name again?
What do we got next?
Let's talk about that and say, you know, that's a pretty good forcible entry device.
What the hell is it, man? Can you tell me a little bit?
I don't know what it is either.
That's true fact. I can tell you that. Okay.
All right. Okay, Chief. And I don't know what the hell's next, Bob. What's next on the show?
Okay, hold on.
Let's truck left, zoom into Chief Quist.
Truck left.
And Chief,
zoom.
what I want you to do is I need you to say, and that's pretty much where we stand right now.
Okay.
And
Then we'll
And that's
stop.
fact.
We'll stop again, come back to this two-shot, and you can do your closing, okay?
Okay.
Hi, Bobby.
Okay.
Thanks, Ed. We really appreciate you coming down and working with us and helping us. We've really enjoyed it. Now we've got that out of the way, all the firefighters in the station know that you and I are diehard Redskin fans. Okay?
Diehard is right.
Diehard. We've had some tough times, especially last year. What do you think? Well, how we look this year?
I've got it solved. We'll take the recruits from the training school, take all the firefighting equipment and put it at the north end zone.
Okay.
During the regular game.
Yeah.
Turn on all the lights, start all the sirens, and get all the recruits out there jumping around. I think the Redskins might be able to score.
That sounds great. Remember, you heard it here first on Frontline. Reporting to you from Frontline with Ed Hughes at the Fire Training Center. I'm Captain R.B. Alley.
Program. We ready, Bob?
Yeah. We're rolling. Here we go.
It takes me a few times, Doris.
Right.
Well, it's going to take me too, I'm sure.
Welcome back. Our guest this month is Doris Foster, EMS Training Chief for the Department of EMS. This is her day. She's queen for a day. Okay,
Thank
ready?
you, Joe.
Anytime you're ready.
All right.
Okay, let's just knock out a little bit of it, see what happens. Here we go.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Get out of here! I had it down that time!
From the engine company to the staff support people. As soon as the jet goes by, I'll continue.
Hey, Bob. You know we can use that, don't you?
That's okay.
Okay, hold on just a second, Chief.
No, it's fine. Go on. This is relaxed. They'll hear Joe in the background, so that's all right.
Look at him turning red.
yeah, I'm out
Give
of
me
it.
a zoom on his red face. Hey, Chief,
About got me killed.
that's coming out next month.
Don't put
Okay, the objectives for this month's worksheet is to review all medical emergencies and answer the following questions. You just got to be, do you expect me to believe that people are really going to buy that one? Okay, on completion of this worksheet, you should be able to review all medical emergencies and answer the following questions. The references for the worksheet are emergency care.
Where's your microphone?
Oh.
This is like real critical. Mike's still good. We're rolling. Here we go.
Okay, let's go now to the top of page 3 to question 12, identifying the Okay, let's go to page 3. Okay, let's go to page...
You want to say
No, I know what I want to say.
Here we go.
Okay, let's go to the top of page 3 now. Question number 12.
Want to lie down? It'll only be a few minutes, okay? I'll show you.
Can you lie down for just a minute?
Who said that?
There you go. Hey.
The voice from above. Who was?
One of the things that we cover when Freddie is talking to the fire truck. Freddie's talking to the fire truck.
This is not like live.
My man's fucking... He's choking out.
Okay, we ready? Thank you, Joe. Take it from the top.
From the top. From the top.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Okay. Thank you, Joe. Now let's break out our Frontline worksheets, which deal with ladders and water supply. Question number 4. What are butt spurs? Old Joe goes, I couldn't.
All we need is the answer.
I got you.
The answer.
Hold on.
Butt spurs.
Hold on a minute.
Approach the AMI patient, and you'll be able to relate better what I'm...
Pick it right up from later on in this program. A little pause.
Later on in this...
A little more of a pause. That's all right. Hang in there.
I already did that, Bob. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, here's a little pause. All right, long. Make sure you give me a pause afterwards, too. Here we go.
5.
He's killing me.
You're not alone. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome again to the hazardous materials section of Frontline. It was our intention this month to take you out to Franklin where we shot some vintage. Vintage, yeah.
Okay,
So that's video footage.
here we go. A little bit of pause. Here we go.
Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, give me a little pause. Here we go. Next, if you'll all get your EMT worksheets.
No, Joe's doing EMG. Here we go.
Next.
Here we go.
Hi, this is Linda Allen from the Fire Training Center Library. Just a few facts to let you know that we are now on the email system, and you can...
That's all right. That's all right.
Pause.
Pick it right up. Pick it right up. No?
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Okay.
My mind just went blank.
Take your time.
Frank is... we're now in the email system. Wait a minute, Bob.
Okay, that's all right.
Cut it. Hi, I'm Linda Allen with the Fire Training Center Library.
Look, behind me is recruit class 36. What they're doing today is we're going to do this over. Okay? I'm gonna ask you a question. I got what?
The tree's in his face.
Come on around here. The tree's in your face. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Ready? Behind me is recruit class 36. They're in the EMT portion of their recruit training class, and they're doing a little water rescue today at the Lynn Haven Dive Center. Instructor for the class is firefighter George Marshall from Company 7A shift. He's assisted by Captain John Harvey from Company 12B, firefighter Pat Taché, also from Company 12B, and Master Firefighter Dwayne Crone from Company 4A. Dwayne, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing today?
No. Let me know. I'll do it whenever you're ready. Yeah, ready. Did you ever wonder what it'd be like to be on the technical rescue team? I've often wondered that myself. I'm over here at Company 10 today, home of a new technical rescue team with Battalion Chief Chase Sargent, and he's...
Okay, here we go.
I got a light here that's going to hit when I come up.
Okay, anytime you're ready.
See what it does to me. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Battalion Chief Sargent and Captain Mike Brown and the technical rescue crew at Company 10C. They say they're the beat with the heat. They walk. I forgot the last part. The devil's beat. They walk what?
They work where the devil's dead.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, here we go. Y'all ready? Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Anytime, RB.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Battalion Chief Sargent and Captain Mike Brown and the technical rescue crew of Company 10C. They say they're the home of the heat. They work where the devils dance. Reporting to you from Frontline, on the tripod, in the harness, I'm Captain R.B. Allen.
That was good, RB.
Okay, let's just glance at that.
All right, when? Just tell me when.
Wait a minute, just a second.
See how he puts it all together?
You're looking at me now, okay?
All right.
Okay. No talking, right? Okay. A little bit more. No, come on, give me a break now. Here we go. Okay. You want to come back and say something about this is what we're talking about now? Well, this is what we want to.
Well, yeah, I'll lead in with something that I had until you just.
All right.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. Just give me a pause. Here we go.
They've taken all the doors off the old apartments buildings and just left them wide open for storage, so the fire can traverse a lot easier that way, never to cut it off. And that made a big problem for those guys when they first got up there.
Okay, I think when we get into the studio version of All Hands, what we'll do is we'll cover the pre-fire plan and some of those building construction changes they had.
I think it'd be very good.
Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be a deputy chief of the fire department in charge of a big fire? I always have.
I always had.
Prevention, a routine part of your lives. We won't be able to stop the tragedies. For Cappy Meredith. For Cappy Meredith!
That's all right.
That goes in the bloopers.
Let's start with it.
All right, Gary, why don't you let them know what's up next? Little nutrition segment, something we can all use.
Yeah, for those of you that don't eat roots and berries, Doris Trent will be here to kind of give you some ideas for holiday cooking and ways to keep that holiday cooking off your waistline.
Okay, it's a pretty good segment, and I think that that everybody out there is going to be able to get something out of it. So let's go to Doris right now.
Thank you, Joe. It's a pleasure to be with you today, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you some just general tips for holiday eating. One of the first things I do want to share is how to look for some hidden fats that you might be picking up during the holidays, and some easy and simple ways to kind of eliminate some of those fats or cut back on them or make it kind of easy for you. Well, I think one of the first things that we typically eat during the holidays is probably a cheese ball and crackers. We may pick that up during an entertaining or a buffet party, or maybe that's just a general snack that you might have around the station in between football games or whatever. But let's concentrate first on what you might be putting that cheese ball or dip on, and that's the crackers. So let's look at, I've pulled up 4 choices out of the grocery store, and some of them were even tagged as healthy food choices. Well, let's start looking at these crackers. There are 4 choices here. We've got one choice here that is based on just calories. If I start reading the label on the end of the package there, I'm going to see that this one is 50 calories. My next choice would be 80 calories, 50 calories, and 60 calories. So based on the labels, I most likely would probably choose my 2 50-calorie choices and say that's would be it. But as everyone knows, and one of the tips to begin to look at is to begin to read the fine label and begin to interpret some of that fine print that's there. For instance, if we look here, we see 50 calories, but if I scoot right on down, I see that it's 2 grams of fat. Now, if I compare the grams of fat to other labels, I think, well, maybe that's great, maybe that's not so great, or indication there. The trick here in reading is begin to interpret what that label has just told you. 2 grams of fat, we know that fat is more concentrated, more dense than proteins and carbohydrates. So at this point we need to factor it out by 9. So if I take 2 and pay real close attention to how I'm going to figure out the percent of fat out of those 50 calories, and that's the real trick here. Right now all I'm seeing is that fat weighs 2 grams. At this point when my body begins to eat, it doesn't really care how much that fat weighs. What it understands is it's twice as dense as anything else that I'm eating, and it's slower to digest and just more difficult to get off once you've gotten it in the body. So at this point I'm going to figure out the percent of fat. So here we have 2 grams of fat, 2 times 9, which will give me the number of calories coming out of that fat, which is 50. 2 times 9 is 18, and then I'm going to divide it by the total number, 50, which means out of this choice, 36% fat is in this 1 serving size of cookies. So I get 4 cookies or 4 crackers here, and they're at 50 calories, but they're 36% fat. So let's do some comparison. How do the rest of these compare around? Again, if I use that 9 factor, this is setting at approximately 1 gram, so 1 times 9 gives me a factor of 9 divided by the total number of calories, 80, which means it's 11% fat. So even though these are more in calories, 80 versus 50, it's only 11% fat versus the 36% fat. So if I'm a wise consumer, which one are you going to choose? The one lower in fat. We'll compare the other 2 crackers. This was setting at 50. Starting off calorie-wise, it looked like it was a pretty good choice. Now if I factor again the 9, and there's 1 gram of fat here by 9, divide by the total number of calories, 50, it's 18% of calories are coming from percent of fat. 18% fat here. My Twist crackers, again using that same math, I'm coming up with 30% fat in the cracker for 3 servings. So at this point, I have some choices to make. And again, it can be on a little bit of flavor and taste, but our best choices are really these 2 choices when you're considering the best type of cracker to eat. Now, you may want to do some flavoring, and if that's the case, you want to hold on to this, then remember that 4 crackers is really 50 calories plus whatever else you put on that. And it's really dense in terms of fat on that. So really, if you were to be a wise consumer, you'd look at the amount of fat, percent of fat, by using that little math lingo that's there. Some of the other things that you can begin to do as you prepare or cook foods for the holiday or mingle with families, begin to look at maybe some other choices that are lower in fat choices that take out some of those hidden calories but still leave some taste and flavor there. What I've prepared is several different dishes that I want to share with you in the few minutes that we have today with you, and give you some thoughts on different side dishes that you might prepare as appetizers for your meal, or maybe a TV snack dinner that you might be sharing with them. So we're going to start with first an entree here with the meatballs. In terms of a meatball here, the meatballs can usually, per meatball, you can expend 90 to 100 calories per meatball. Here's the substitution that you might consider is tuna bites with a mustard sauce, only 23 calories. So again, you know, we're making a substitution. We're substituting a fish product in place of a red meat product, which automatically is lower in fat. But it's also something that can be prepared ahead of time. You can even freeze these, pull them out, microwave them when you have somebody that to drop by, or if you want to make up a large batch and just hold later. Very easy to do. But only 23 calories per tuna bite versus as much as 100 calories for one bite of meatballs. And if you're like me, you don't just eat one bite of meatball. You want several meatballs on there. Our cheese spread here, our cheese ball, we're looking at 33 calories per tablespoon, and that's significantly lower. We've used some different cheeses here that are low fat, some low cal mayonnaise, and again, it comes off to be a very pretty display and a nice nutritional snack that you can also look at. We're going to also talk about, share with you a recipe here on vegetables and dip. I think that's something that's always popular regardless at what time of the year that you might be looking for something to serve or maybe carry along for a dinner or again a snack idea. But you know, the thing that typically gets us in trouble with a vegetable and dip dish is the dip. 1 tablespoon, which is about this size spoon, can expend somewhere between 60 and 80 calories. And that's not a whole lot if you're talking about really enjoying a vegetable dip, perhaps. But keep that in mind. The dip that we have today is using a cottage cheese base with some yogurt and then putting the flavor and taste back in with the herbs and spices used to season with that. And we've brought it all the way down to 23 calories per tablespoon. So a significant drop versus what are some higher food choices there, and I bet you'll enjoy the flavor just as much. Another entree, which is a little bit more time consuming, but still is packed with nutritional value, picking up a lot of your vitamin C's and minerals here, which is typically hard for us to pick up in a diet. It's fruit kebabs with a yogurt, fruit, pineapple, nut sauce dish to serve with it. It's a really tasty, it's a real showy piece, and it's still relatively simple to prepare. And you can change this according to what seasonal fruits are available to you. And one last dish that I want to share with you that oftentimes during the holidays I think is always so tough is that there are always sweets around. And if you're like me, I really do enjoy my sweets. I do have a sweet tooth, but the thing that I keep in mind is the moderation. When we're looking at our diet, there are 3 keys on eating healthy. That's keeping a variety, keeping moderation, and a balance. But the point I want to make here is the moderation point. And I certainly can't say to you, I bet you can't eat just one. Of course you're not going to eat one. You may want a couple of bites on that. So again, try to make it moderation, and then maybe choose some recipes that are lower in fat so that second bite is not quite as expensive calorie-wise. Here we have 2 that are a butterscotch brownie. That is 40 calories per bite, per serving size, and that's compared to one that might be 80 to 100. And then we've chosen some cookies that are sitting at 59 calories. Now these are a pineapple walnut cookie. Now already you know that that's going to offer you a little bit more nutritional value than a plain Oreo cookie. So, you know, an Oreo cookie is about 50 calories. So we know that these are a little bit more calories involved with them, but they certainly offer us a lot more nutritional value. Very easy to make, and again, something you can make up in a batch and freeze and hold for later use on that. So, you know, some choices here. If you're going to pick up the calories, try to make them as nutritionally dense, pick up as much nutritional value as possible. And we've done that with some nuts, and particularly with the pineapple on this particular cookie choice. And it's not bad on the calorie choice there compared to maybe some other holiday sweets that you could eat that are coming up with about 200 to 300 calories per serving size on that. Some very quick tips. I hope that you enjoy the holidays, and if you're interested in these recipes, what we're going to be doing is packaging these along with the tape that you'll be viewing in your station. So feel free to experiment with and do some cooking with them. The recipe pack will have some other entrees that you can use for preparing meals as well. That begins to look at how to low-cal a recipe but still keep some flavor and taste with the recipe on that. Now, Joe, as well as along with Bob Anderson, we've been brainstorming. What we'd like to do is to visit with you on a monthly basis. So next month, I'm looking forward to visiting with you on a topic that you're interested in hearing more about. In the meantime, if you have individual questions or recipes that you want to test out to see how you can keep the taste and flavor in but still make it a little lower calorie in choice, please feel free to call me. I'm available to you Monday through Friday. Give me a call at 427-4511. If I'm not there, just leave a message. I'm looking forward to being with you. You have a happy holiday.
Okay, that's going to about do it for this month's show, and I'd like to thank my co-host, Chief Painter, for taking some time and coming over with us today. It is the holiday season, and I'd like to wish everybody happy holidays. We're getting into some cold months, and I think you got some safety tips for us.
Same here. I want to wish everybody and their families a Merry Christmas and remind you that the cold weather's coming. Let's watch those running boards for ice, the ladders. Let's watch where we're stepping and keep from putting anybody in the hospital or getting hurt.
Okay, that's going to do it, and we'll see you next month. And up on next month, we've got some more all-hands action. They had a pretty decent fire over Kings Grant Landing, and we're going to be having Chief Land in here. We'll do some footage on that. And Dr. Craven's going to be back with us, and we'll be talking a little bit about stress management. So in keeping with Frontline, we'll be keeping you informed, and we'll see you next month.
You guys at Battalion 4A, keep up the good work.
Jeffrey N. Lindsay, Oklahoma City Fire Department, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, accepting his wife. Cecil Robbie Lovett, Carthage Fire Department, Carthage, Texas, accepting his wife.
I got